Uriarte, the Provincial Planning and Development Coordinator, and Engineer Ramir Balken, the Officer in Charge of the Cagayan de Oro City Planning and Development Office. Participants from the local government units, our stakeholders, fellow workers in the service, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am pleased to present for the first time the reports on the economic performance of the province of Misamis Oriental and Cagayan de Oro City for the year 2018 to 2020. My report this afternoon will discuss the following points. Number one, I will present the economic growth of the province and the HUC. Second, I will discuss the performance of each industry. Third, I will show the economic structure of the province and city by showing the share of the major industries to the total economy of the province and the HUC. Fourth, I will show how much is the contribution of the major industries to the economic growth of Misamis Oriental and Cagayan de Oro City. Fifth, I will present several slides showing the performance of the province and the HUC vis-a-vis other provinces and HUC in the region. I will also provide you with the summary points on the economic performance of Misamis Oriental and Cagayan de Oro City. And finally, I will acknowledge our partners who gave data support to this endeavor at the end of my presentation. Now let me start with the report on the economic performance of the province in Misamis Oriental for the years 2018 to 2020. The economy of Misamis Oriental grew by 7.8% in 2019, but declined in 2020 by 11.2%. The total goods and services produced by the province in 2018 was valued at 145.8 billion pesos. This increased in 2019 by 11.4 billion pesos. However, the recorded value of total goods and services declined from 157.2 billion pesos in 2019 to 139.6 billion pesos in 2020, which is equivalent to a 17.6 billion pesos decrease. Now let me present the performance of industries for years 2019 to 2020. In 2019, service and industry posted growth of 14.1% and 3.5% respectively. However, the agriculture, forestry, and fishing, or the AFF, declined by 0.5%. Among the industries, the top three fastest growth were recorded in public administration and defense, compulsory social activities, which expanded by 59.7%, information and communication, which increased by 24.2%, and education, which recorded a growth of 22.3%. Electricity, steam, water, and waste management, on the other hand, posted a decline of 2.5% in 2019. Now looking at 2020, all major industries posted contractions. Services declined by 17.2%. Industry posted a decline of 6.5%, while the AFF registered a 2.9% contraction. Among the industries, transportation and storage accommodation, and food service activities, and construction were the three industries with deepest dive. Transportation and storage dropped by 52.7%. Accommodation and food service activities, negative 40.7%. And construction reduced by 34.9%. However, despite the economic contraction, there were four industries which managed to post economic growth, namely financial and insurance activities and manufacturing. They both expanded by 11.9%. Information and communication grew by 4.3%, and electricity, steam, water, and waste management, which was turned around to 3.3%. And of these four industries, only information and communication posted decelerated growth, that is, from 24.2% in 2019 to 4.3% in 2020. Manufacturing posted the biggest acceleration in growth from 0.2% in 2019 to 11.9%. The Misamis Oriental economy is service-based, as based on the greater average share to the economy. Service accounted for the largest share of 46.3%, followed by industry at 40.3%. Then, the agriculture, forestry, and fishing at 13.4%. Under services, wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, has the largest for the period 2018 to 2020, with an average share of 43.2%. This is followed by transportation and storage, with an average share of 13.4%, and public administration and defense compulsory social activities, with an average share of 9.1%. Other services has the least share to total services of Misamis Oriental, with an average share of 0.9%. For the total industry of Misamis Oriental, manufacturing holds the largest average share of 45.3%. Construction has a 3-year average share of 29.9%, followed by electricity, steam, water, and waste management with an average of 23.5% share. Mining and quarrying has the least average share to total industry of Misamis Oriental with an average of 1.2% share. Now let us proceed to the contribution of the three major industries to the economy of Misamis Oriental. In 2019, service and industry contributed positively to 7.8% growth of the province. Services contributed 6.4 percentage points, while industry contributed 1.4 percentage points. Meanwhile, the AFF, the growth of the economy by 40.1 percentage points. And in 2020, all the three major industries contributed to negative 11. Okay, now let me report the economic performance of the years 2018 to 2020. The city of Cagayan de Oro also posted a decline in 2020 from positive growth in 2019. The city's economy declined by 8.0% in 2020 from an 8.3% growth in 2019. The total value of goods and services in the city is valued at 220.9 billion pesos in 2018. It increased to 239 billion pesos in 2019, but dropped to 220.1 billion pesos in 2020. And looking at the performance of the industries of the city for the year 2019, services recorded the fastest growth among the major industries at 8.6%, followed by industry at 7.5%, while AFF registered at 0.1% growth. Among the industries, electricity, steam, water, and waste management posted the fastest growth at 20.1%, followed by other service at 17.5%, and professional and business services at 17.0%. Then looking at 2020, only agriculture, forestry, and fishing recorded an expansion of 3.1%. The other two major industries, service and industry, posted contractions at about 9.4% and 3.8% respectively. Among the industries, accommodation and food service activities posted the largest decline at 56.9%, followed by construction with 47.1%, and real estate and ownership of dwellings at 22.9%. Despite the recorded economic contraction in the city in 2020, still there were industries which managed to expand, like the public administration and defense, compulsory social activities, at 22.5%. Activities at 6.8%, information and communication at 6.7%, electricity, steam, water, and waste management at 2.0%, and professional and business services at 1.4%. On the share of major industries to the total economy of Cagayan de Oro City, services holds the largest share, with an average share of 75.7%. Industry, on the other hand, has a 3-year average share of 23.5%. Meanwhile, the AFF has the least average share of about 0.8%. Manufacturing holds the largest share to the total industry of the city of Cagayan de Oro. Manufacturing has a 3-year average share of about 64.1%. This is followed by electricity, steam, water, and waste management, which has an average share of 18.0%, and construction with 17.7% average share. Meanwhile, mining and quarrying has the least share of about 0.1%. On the contribution of the 3 major industries to the GDP of City of Cagayan de Oro, in 2019, industries contributed to the 8.3% growth of Cagayan de Oro City. Services and industry contributed 6.6 percentage points, and 1.7 percentage points respectively. The AFF also contributed positively albeit with minimal contribution. In 2020, services and industry contributed to the negative 8.0% decline, which contributed 7.2 percentage points and 0.9 percentage points respectively. Only the AFF contributed positively with 0.02 percentage points. Finally, I am going to present the performance in Misamis Oriental and the city of Cagayan de Oro vis-a-vis other provinces and HUC in northern Mindanao. In 2020, Misamis Oriental has the second fastest decline in northern Mindanao of negative 11.2%, following Cagayan with a recorded decline of 11.7%. Meanwhile, city of Cagayan de Oro posted a decline of 8.0% in 2020 as compared to the 1.4% growth recorded by the city of Iligan. On the total, the AFF of the region, Bukidnon has the highest average share of 64.1%, while Misamis Oriental has an average share of about 11.2%, while city of Cagayan de Oro has a share of 1.0% on the average. And on the average, Misamis Oriental and Cagayan de Oro City have the largest share to the total industry of northern Mindanao. Misamis Oriental has an average share of 28.7%, while city of Cagayan de Oro holds 25.7% average share. For services, all provinces and HUCs recorded a decline in 2020. Cagayan has the largest contraction of 17.8%, followed by Misamis Oriental with a decline of 17.2%. On the other hand, city of Cagayan de Oro posted a decline of 9.4%, higher compared to the city of Iligan, which registered a decline of 5.1% in 2020. On per capita GDP, Misamis Occidental has the highest average per capita among the provinces at 176,244, higher than the average per capita GDP of the region. Misamis Oriental's average per capita is at about 156,827. But with regards to the cities, the city of Cagayan de Oro has the highest average per capita at 312,100, while the city of Iligan's per capita is averaged at 185,785 pesos. In summary, the GDP of the province of Misamis Oriental grew by 7.8% in 2019, but declined by 11.2% in 2020. All three major industries, the agricultural, forestry and fishing, industry and services, recorded declines of 2.9%, 6.5% and 17.2% respectively. Major contributors to the 2020 decline were construction at 4.7 percentage points, then transportation and storage at 4.0 percentage points, and wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles at 2.9 percentage points. The province of Misamis Oriental holds the third largest share to the total economy of northern Mindanao, with an average share of 17.6% for the years 2018 to 2020. To summarize, the city of Cagayan de Oro posted a growth of 8.3% in 2019 and a decline of 8.0% in 2020. But despite the contraction in 2020, CDO maintained the total value of goods and services above the 200 billion pesos mark. In 2020, industry and services declined by 3.8% and 9.4%, while the AFF posted a growth of 3.1%. The top contributors to the decline in 2020 were accommodation and food service activities at 3.3 percentage points, construction at 2.2 percentage points, and real estate and ownership of dwellings at 1.9 percentage points. Of all the provinces and HUCs in northern Mindanao, the city of Cagayan de Oro has the largest share to the regional economy at an average of 27.1%. At this point in time, I would like to remarkably acknowledge the hard-working PPA team of PSA Misamis Oriental, spearheaded by Ms. Dolagay Capareda and Ms. Milan Butay. Thank you for your active, fruitful efforts in compiling these results. And in behalf of PSA, Provincial Product Accounts, Misamis Oriental Provincial Statistical Office, let me take this opportunity to thank all our data providers to come up with the gross provincial domestic product, our NGOs, NGO partners, our NGAs, allies for our data needs, and other data providers. My sincerest thanks to all of you. Daghan kaayong salamat sa kaninyong tanan. See you again next year, and may God bless us. Thank you.